And overnight, mostly clear skies. We'll only drop down to about 48 for a low. We dropped down to 30 this morning, but warmed up rather quickly as we move through the morning hours. Tomorrow, partly sunny start. Once again, we're going to have some clouds move in the afternoon, but that's not going to keep us from warming up even more. Tomorrow, we're going to make our way up to about 70 degrees. And then tomorrow night, we're going to only get down to 55. Average for this time of the year, high temperature is 53. So well above average, not only tomorrow, but then on Wednesday, 76 for a high, 56 for a low. A lot more in the way of sunshine. We're not going to see any clouds around on Wednesday. Tomorrow, as I said, clouds moving into the afternoon. Then on Thursday, again, another mostly sunny day. Hold on to your hats. Some of you will see 80 degrees. Now, is that going to last? No. Enjoy it while you see it on Thursday. Friday, well, maybe some of you might luck out and hit 80. I think we're going to be pretty much the same on Wednesday or on Thursday as we are on Friday with our high temperatures, and our low temperatures are going to be around 57, 58, 59 degrees. So what we're going to be seeing on Thursday and Friday is what's average for the 20th of June.
Yeah.
As far as temperatures go.
Let's hope we don't just get 1 week of summer, though.
Well, we'll get back to spring.
Okay.
The following week. I think we're going to get a whole lot closer to normal. And actually, as we move through the work week next week, we're going to run a little bit below average on our temperatures, but also below average on the moisture. We're not anticipating anything in the way of moisture around these parts until we get into the weekend. Yeah, I'm sorry. The weekend. But Saturday, 76. Saturday night, 52. Sunday, 66. And we'll probably drop down to right around the mid-40s for a low on Sunday. We'll have some chances of seeing a little bit of precipitation because we do have a low-pressure system that's going to be moving into the Pacific Ocean area, the Canadian shore of the Pacific. And that's going to move almost right straight east, just north of the United States border. And that is going to move right straight across east, a little bit north of Lake Superior. So we're going to be on the warm side of that system all the way through tail end of the work week, as witnessed by the temperatures. But it is going to spurn a little bit of moisture, spur it in our direction as we get into Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday, that front or that low will be far enough to the east. It is going to drop a cold front down through the state. So we'll begin to see a little bit more of average and slightly below average as far as temperatures go. But there's not a whole lot of moisture associated with this wind pattern and jet stream as we go through the next 10 days to 2 weeks. Matter of fact, through the 23rd of the month, once we get through this coming weekend, we're looking at below average on the temperatures, below average on the moisture for at least the second half of the work week next week. What's average? 53 in the afternoon, 34 at night. Record high in the state is 83, set back in 2011. The record low, 19, set in 1997. A year ago, our high was 54, low was 27. We had no precipitation. Incidentally, for the calendar year, as of the 10th of April, a year ago, 6.66 inches of precipitation.
Wow.
So don't get all wrapped up in this 6.66 stuff, okay? To this year, as of the 10th, 9.9 inches. So we're about a third ahead of what we were a year ago. And we're quite a bit more ahead as far as soil temperatures are concerned. We get a lot better reading on those statewide once we get that government report that comes out this afternoon, the crop progress report. So we'll get an idea on the soil temperatures with all of that. Sun will set this evening at 8:13, rise tomorrow morning at 7:01. So if you're all about setting your timers for when the lights come on outside or wherever. Set them for about 8:30.
There we go.
Because that's when the sun will finally go down. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, who do we have?
Well, to kick off this week, we'll be talking with Gary Kaufman from Star of the West. Then we'll head over to Oppenheimer and check in with Doug Klein for our market report. All of that is ahead. But first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. They first of all want to say thank you so much for all of you that came and enjoyed Easter Sunday at Krizak's house. Now, it got a little crazy. There were a lot of folks that had reservations. They had to wait a little bit because Krizak's started the morning off with that Easter breakfast. And they were busy, beyond busy as they went through the entire day. But first and foremost, you did it right when you called in reservations to get into Krizak's house, because they were taking care of those folks, but they were taking care of their customers. And they apologize for any inconvenience because some folks did have to wait a little bit longer. But again, Donnie and his staff, they had a full staff to take care of folks at Krizak's house, and they did a wonderful job doing it. And again, they really appreciate their customers, and they really appreciate the loyalty that many of the customers have to eat at Krizak's house. Telephone number for Krizak's to supply the food for an event coming up, not a problem, 894-5531, of course, area code 989. And if you thought reservations were important for Easter, they're even more important for Mother's Day. So use that telephone number, okay? 989-894-5531. Gary Kaufman, ready?
I hope so. Gary, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Well, Gary, it looks as though we're going to start off the week on at least looks like a little bit of a positive note.
Yeah, it's we've been on both sides of it already, Terry, and actually, soybeans are trying to hang on a little bit. They're a little negative, but corn and wheat are on the positive for sure.
So what do you got, and why are the markets doing what they're doing?
Well, right now we've got cash wheat up a nickel right now. That puts the white at 636 and the red at 586. New crop up 3 at 666 on the white, 616 on the red. Cash corn up 6 at 595, and new crop up a penny at 498. Cash soybeans, let's call it down a penny right now at 1422, and new crop, we'll call it unchanged, Terry, at 1245. And yeah, some of the storylines here this morning, starting with the wheat here, seen a little bit of a bounce there. Over the weekend, we've heard some rumblings that Russia might be inclined not to agree to extend the Black Sea grain initiative. So that we'll expect it to expire in mid-May. So we've got about another month for that before that hits the rubber meets the road on that one. But and some of the other things in the wheat arena, of course that drought-stricken southern plains, which is the hard winter wheat areas, continues to be dry. So, but the soft red wheat areas, including our backyards on the white here, are sitting pretty good on wheat as far as moisture goes, and we're hoping to get a lot of top dressing done on the wheat acres here this week with the nice weather we're getting. And tomorrow, Terry, we got the April WASDE report, and So after that March 31st report of corn and soybean carryouts being a little bit less, we expect them to also make some reductions in the corn and soybean stocks tomorrow as well. And, the flip side of everything with the nicer weather, we're probably going to see quite a bit of plantings going on this week. We probably won't see it in the crop progress reports this afternoon, but a week from now, there's going to be probably a lot of acres being put in the ground this week. So,
Do you think, Gary, that in the southern plains and some of those areas where they have not gotten the moisture like we've had over the last 10 days, that they're going to be inclined to plant in dry soil out there?
well, that's very possible, Jerry. I know they are extremely dry there, and but yeah, it's I guess time will tell the tale, but it's being watched very closely by the traders for sure. So
Had a chance to talk to a couple of farm broadcasters over in the Mindak area, Nebraska north. All they're doing is shaking their heads because they really don't have a clue how long it's going to take before they can actually get going, because where we had all the rain, they had all the snow. We had absolutely gorgeous weather this weekend. They didn't have that. They weren't half as warm as what we were yesterday. So I'm really of course it doesn't take very long, does it, to get
no,
going?
no, it doesn't for sure, and we can attest to that in our backyard. It dries out pretty quick. But yeah, they're going to get a little late start out there. So does that mean less corn acres, more soybean acres, or more dry bean acres for that matter out there? So less sugar beet acres, So there might be some changes in the rotation in the northern plains for sure. So
I got an idea. You're right there. Gary, have a great day, okay?
I will. You do the same. Thanks, guys.
I will, you bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Stepping up to the plate is Doug Klein, right?
Yes, indeed. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. The market report today brought to you by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline. Are you ready to upgrade to a new Ram truck for your family farm? Now is the time to order your new Ram 15, 25, or 3500. So you should see the folks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, the Great Lakes Bay's certified ag dealer. They specialize in all models of new Ram commercial trucks and vans, and ordering is the way to go. You can buy with confidence from Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Also by Thumb Bank, they've been serving agriculture for over 125 years with 2 locations in Bay City, also Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, Bad Axe, and Marlette. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. We say good morning to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. Doug, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Hey, not too bad. The Tigers need a home run, and so do we.
Well, natural gas is up 7.5% today.
Boom.
There you go. There's a home run for you.
There you go.
Out of the park.
You weren't staying on the downside. Oh boy, kind of a dead cat bounce, but who knows? That one's moving pretty good. Well, I got a report on the Fed. Those guys that raise interest rates on us.
Yeah.
They said that that their balance sheet assets versus liabilities is $26 or $27 billion. And they are currently requiring almost 40% of banks' deposits to be sent to the Fed to keep them afloat. Used to be about 10 or 11%. Now it's 40%. So that's kind of scary. And their bond portfolio, that they manipulate the economy with, that's $27 trillion. So they've got $27 billion on their balance sheet, but they're manipulating with $27 trillion. And by raising interest rates, they have lost over $1 trillion in their bonds. That's just scary. And they're losing close to $100 billion a year in interest because they raised interest rates so much on us. They raised it on themselves too. It's just scary how much money disappears in very short manner when they're dealing with 1,000-to-1 leverage. But anyway, that's way above our pay grade. We're just going to talk about things that we understand a little bit more, but not completely. Here's your numbers. The May corn is $6.50 1/4, up 6 3/4. The December corn is 5.58 3/4, up 2. The May soybeans 14.92, down a half a penny. November soybeans 13.10 up 3/4 of a penny. The May wheat is 6.80 up 5 cents, and December wheat 7.23, up 3.5. Crude oil is 80.20, down 50 cents. The heating oil is 267.18, up a penny. Gasoline 280.25, down a penny. Natural gas 215.5, up 14.5 cents. Currencies: Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3532 Canadian. That's up 25 ticks. The dollar buys 133.78 yen. That's up 165 ticks. The euro's at 108.40. That's down 57 ticks. The dollar's at 102.73. That's up 64 ticks. Gold's at 1984, down 27.90. Silver's 24.94, down 15 cents. Platinum's unchanged at 1,006.90.
Doesn't want to be a part of that, does it?
I don't think about it too much.
Nope, not at all. You have a great day, Doug.
Thanks. Yep, you too.
All righty. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. I think Jerry Samolsky is about ready to tell us all the things we should be doing in the backyard right now.
I think he had a great weekend with the weather, and I think he's really looking forward to this week. Do I have that right, Jerry?
You sure do, John. It's just beautiful weather out this week. Maybe going to be a little bit windy coming up, but boy, now we can get out and get started. I've been noticing a lot of things. The maple trees are beginning to flower. So, yes, maple trees flower. Without flowers, they wouldn't have those little helicopter seeds. That's surely a sign for spring is coming. The daffodils are coming up, and it's just all happening. I've even noticed weeds beginning to sprout. So if you haven't got your pre-emergent on yet, please do that. Just get out and start getting those spring cleanups going and get everything happening. Transplanting for perennials and whatnot. Now is time for that as well. So it's here. Let's get out and get busy.
Yep, I agree there. Jerry, you have a good day, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Another Jerry on tap with us right now. Our farm accountant, farm attorney. He takes care of all the numbers. Right, Jerry Reif?
Yes, I do, Terry. You bet. I want to tell everybody about a seminar we got coming up, a workshop, of course. Are you prepared? You know, this is the time of year when you do tax filings, you do physicals, and whatever, all kinds of documents and preparations that have to be done. Well, estate planning and business succession planning can also be another one. And, of course, with farm families, you're not talking about just a business. You're talking about a family. So, I mean, the dynamics are even more need for attention, and we like to suggest strongly that this planning be done when it's not a crisis. That's the key. And, of course, with this workshop, it's all new because they do change rules, and I get the same questions, from people who are concerned about creditors and nursing homes, all kinds of different things. But what they need to be, the biggest blunder that people do is nothing. And that's a bad decision. That's the key. So we invite them to come to a free workshop in Saginaw at Capocco Credit Union on Cabaret Trail, just off of Bay Road, south of McCarty. And it's a great venue and everything. It's on Wednesday, April 19th at the Capocco Credit Union on Cabaret Trail in Saginaw, and it's at 2 o'clock. And it'll be an hour, and we stick around if you have more questions. But beyond that, we invite you to a free personal consultation. You have no documents in place, old documents in place, or a new one. You just want a second opinion and maybe have it explained or whatever. I'd be happy to do that, and we don't charge for that. The whole idea is, are you prepared? Are you ready? Your estate plan and all that. So we look forward to seeing everybody there. And, of course, you can't get out in the field just yet, so here's a chance to April 19th on Wednesday at 2 o'clock at Capocco Cabaret Trail. Call my office at 989-790-1461 or go to jerryreiflawyer.com on my website.
Jerry, thanks a lot. You take care. We'll talk to you again, okay?
Yes, we will. Thank you, Jerry.
You betcha. Jerry Reif. Ever wondered about soybeans? there's a lot of things we can
There's
do
a lot
with
of things to
soybeans.
wonder about.
Yeah. Well, one thing that a lot of folks aren't aware of is what we're going to talk about right now.
Well, the soybeans grown right here in Michigan and across the country are being used for more than just food and fuel. They're also being used by a company called Synlawn.
So it's short for synthetic lawn. We are very pleased to have soy on the back of the turf.
And that's Rob Dant, Director of Commercial Sales with Synlawn. The United Soybean Board has partnered with Synlawn to develop the technology that uses soybeans to replace much of the plastics that had been previously used to create artificial turf.
So we describe ourselves as both leisure and performance surfacing, which is just kind of fancy for we're found in a lot of different ways. So it can be as playful as a playground. It can be performance-based, like a golf facility or a golf putting surface that has to be absolutely true. It can also be found in senior living facilities where it's helping with dementia care, rooftops that extend that livable space, and also larger landscape projects that are, say, connecting green corridors throughout a city.
Dant says the soy-based backing helps the turf become more sustainable, which is why many large cities are seeing the benefits of installing Synlawn at their city parks and green spaces.
It gives them the option to use a US-based product that is also sustainable and carries a very strong marketing story for them as well. So not only is it designed to look like synthetic grass, but it has a dull luster to it, so it's not shiny and is aesthetically pleasing, but it includes technology, not just soy, but antimicrobials, antistatics, and anti-algicides that are important for waterways.
Are you upset with your current planter performance? Are you considering buying a new planter but blown away from sticker shock? With Precision Planting's VSET, V-Drive, and Delta Force, we can retrofit your old planter to outperform any new planter on the market. Then access all your data from planting to harvest easily with Field View. Call PC Ag Solutions today and get your parts ordered, installed, and ready to go for the upcoming growing season. 989-868-4444. PC Ag Solutions. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around for that. Now we conclude our program with a playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studio.